So today's session is on coordinate geometry and graphs, and we'll be dealing with concepts along with a few questions. Just give me a second. All right. First, let's talk about coordinate axis. This is called as your x-axis. This is what? The origin, and this is your y-axis. All right. In this axis, if you let's say select this point, for example, this point. This is 1, 0. So what is the y coordinate? 0. Similarly, if you select this point, x coordinate is -1, y coordinate is 0. So along this x-axis, y coordinate is always 0. So equation of x-axis is given by y is equal to 0. Similarly, for y-axis, if this point x coordinate is 0, y coordinate is 1, x coordinate is 0, y coordinate is -1. So every point that lies on the y-axis will have the x coordinate as 0. So equation of y-axis is given as x is equal to 0. This is what we have written. The second point, let's say if we are in the second quadrant, give me example of 2 points, Asit, that are in second quadrant. 2 points, any 2 points.
-2 and 3.
Another?
-4 and 1.
-4 and?
1.
Okay, so -4, 1 will lie here. So I'm saying -4, 5. So that it's appropriate with this point. Okay. So example, this is -2, 3. This is -4, 5. Let's take the x coordinate. Both have x coordinate as negative. Both have y coordinate as positive. So x coordinate, if 2 points are lying in the same quadrant, their x coordinate will have the same signs and their y coordinate will have the same signs. This is what I've written here. If 2 points lie in the same quadrant, then A and C should be equal, as in not equal, should have the same sign. Similarly, B and D should have the same sign. We can take this example. You can take, let's say, 1, -2, and let's say 2, -3. Same sign, same sign. Okay. Important. A few questions that I've selected on quadrants. Alia, could you go through the first question quickly?
Which of the following points could lie in the same quadrant of the xy coordinate plane as the point A, B, where AB is not equal to 0?
What does it mean? If A and B are not 0, that means these points are not on
the x and y axis.
That means these points are lying maybe somewhere here, here.
First, second, third, or second.
Okay. If you were to assume some value of A, B, let's assume some value, a simple value.
Yeah. 1, 2.
1, 2. You can assume -1, -2. You can assume 1, -2, whatever you wish to assume. Okay. So what will be -B, -A?
-2 and -1.
What will be -A, -B?
-1, -2.
What will be B, -A?
2, -1.
What will be
1,
A?
-2.
And this will be?
-2, -1.
Okay. So this lies in which quadrant?
Fourth quadrant.
This lies in which quadrant?
Third quadrant.
-B, -A, third quadrant. Okay. Tell me this.
Same, third.
Which of the following points could lie in the same quadrant as the point A, B, where AB not equal to 0? Okay. So are any of these points lying in the same quadrant?
Yes.
Which point? And this lies in, let's say, third. This?
Second. Sorry, fourth.
Fourth. Second. Okay. So is there something wrong with the question? Come on, anyone?
So we need.
No, we have to take other options also. -1, 2. 1 minus 2.
Yeah.
Correct. So
The
if you are
option with minus b and the minus d will be, sorry, minus b and minus, yeah, b and d will be eliminated already.
B and D will be eliminated. Why?
So because first point we are taking is a and b, so मतलब दोनों नेगेटिव साइड आ गया है अपोजिट वो में, दैट्स व्हाई
Correct.
बी एंड डी हट जाएगा.
Cool. Okay, rather than thinking much about it, let's take 1 comma minus 2, which is in the
Quadrant.
No, fourth quadrant.
fourth quadrant. Okay. So option A will give
-1 2 2 comma 1 or 2 comma -1.
minus 2 comma minus 1. Option B will give option B. Come on.
-1, 2.
-1 2
Option C.
2 comma -1 2 comma
Minus 2 comma
-2
minus
comma
1.
1 -1
A comma minus B
1 2
and option C. Option E minus B.
2 1 2 comma
Okay. Now check. This is second, third, first, first. Okay. This is fourth. Okay, either you should go by assuming values. Here we failed, right? This matches. So option A is our answer. Have we provided the same options in the pre-book?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the same options, right? So what is the answer choice?
First one.
Yeah.
Answer A. Okay, so this value was not satisfied. This value was satisfied. Okay. Question number 2. Okay, I'll read. In the xy plane, the points, there are 3 points, C comma D, C comma minus D, minus C comma minus D. We do not know where these lie, in which quadrants, okay? Are 3 vertices of a certain square. If C negative, D positive, then tell me in which quadrant will this point lie?
Second quadrant.
C negative, D positive.
Second.
See, this is first quadrant, positive, positive.
Second quadrant.
Second quadrant, negative, positive. Third quadrant, negative, negative. Fourth quadrant, positive, negative. Okay. Let's say this is C comma D. So where will be C comma minus D? C is negative,
Third quadrant.
Fourth
Third
quadrant.
minus D is negative. Third quadrant.
Okay, third quadrant.
So where will be minus C comma minus D? See, this is
Fourth quadrant.
this
Fourth.
is one
quadrant,
this is one line. C comma D, as in C is the x coordinate and D is the y coordinate. Okay. So this is minus D. So what will be this point? If this is x is equal to C, so what, and if this is a square, that means square is a symmetrical figure. Okay. So what will be this point?
-C.
X is equal to minus C. So this will be minus C. And if this was minus D, this is also minus D. And this will be plus D. And x coordinate is minus C comma D. Okay. So which of the following points is in the same quadrant as the fourth vertex? So fourth vertex is this, which lies in the
First quadrant.
first quadrant. So which point lie in the first quadrant? Let's check. 3 comma 5.
I got -5.
I have a doubt here.
Just a sec. Just a sec. Just a sec.
I got the answer as B.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. You got the answer as
B.
B. B is not the correct answer. No? B lies in which quadrant? Second quadrant. But does this
Okay.
point lie in the second quadrant?
Okay, okay.
That point should lie in the first quadrant, right?
Hmm.
Maybe there is some problem with the values, as in the sign that you have taken. Do you have considered this correctly, that C comma D will lie in the second quadrant? Nupur.
Yeah.
So you can check, and at the end of the class
Yeah. Okay.
we can discuss this. Question number 3, points x comma minus 2 and minus 3 comma y in quadrants 4 and 2 respectively. That means this point lies in the fourth quadrant. Dipesh, what happens in the fourth quadrant? What is positive? What is negative?
X-axis is positive and y-axis is negative.
Not axis. X coordinate is positive.
Sorry, X coordinate
That means x is positive.
and y is negative.
Similarly, minus 3 comma y, where will it lie? As in, it is given in the question that it lies in the second quadrant, somewhere here. In the second quadrant, x coordinate is negative and y
And
coordinate
is
is
positive. Positive.
positive. So x is positive, y is positive. In which quadrant is point x comma y? Positive, positive would mean first quadrant. All right. Slope of a line, important. Distance between 2 points. Okay, not that important, I'll say. So slope, let's say this is, okay, I'll make a diagram. Let's say this point is x1 comma y1. This point is x2 comma y2. Okay. If I say this is a line, this is a line, what is this? As in, this is the x coordinate distance, which is x2, and this is x1. So what will be this distance? x2 minus x1. As in, I'm saying this is x2 minus x1. What will be this distance? So y2 will be the height, right? If I'm saying, let's say 1 comma 2 and 3 comma 4. What is this height? Nothing but the y coordinate ka value, which is 4. What is this height? Nothing but y coordinates value. So what will be this height? 4 minus 2. Similarly, I'm saying this is nothing but y2 minus y1. This is y2 minus y1. So if I'm talking about this distance, let's say this distance is p and q. So with using Pythagoras theorem, can I say that distance PQ is nothing but under root of this square plus this square? X2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. And if I talk about, this is a line, okay? Let's say this is a line. So with respect to positive x-axis, whatever angle is being made, with respect to positive x-axis, whatever angle is being made. Okay, we have drawn here PQ, and this is 90. If this is theta, why is this theta, by the way? If I made this as theta, why is this theta? Because PR is parallel to x-axis. And what's the relation between them? Corresponding angles. Not relevant as of now, but these are corresponding angles. All right. So if I find this angle, which is your slope, so slope is given by whatever the change that happened in the y coordinate with respect to the change in the x coordinate. This is one way of representing the slope. Okay. This is one way. Distance between 2 points I've told you. Distance of the point A comma B from the origin. Let's say if this is the origin and this is your point A comma B. So what is the distance? You can say under root of x2 minus x1 square, which is a minus 0 the whole square, which is a square, plus b minus 0 the whole square, which is b square. This can be important at times. Assumptions, so whenever a question says, okay, let's say there is a point on x-axis, we do not know where. Let's say this is the point. I'll say this point is a comma 0. A is an unknown. On the x-axis, y coordinate is going to be 0. Similarly, if I were to assume a point on the y-axis, I'll say x coordinate of the point is going to be 0 and y coordinate can be, let's say, some variable which is b. B can be positive or negative. If b is positive, it lies above x-axis. If b is negative, then the point will lie somewhere here. Is this point clear, everyone? Astha, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. By the way, how were the concept notes that I have provided? Were they of any help to you guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, it actually
It was-
covers the whole.
Was it helpful? Were you able to understand what I have
Yeah.
written and the reasoning that I have provided?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Cool. So I'm gonna, Alia, solve this question quickly. Alia. Okay. Alia. Ashna, can you help us out in solving this question? Ashna is also not speaking. Astha?
Sir, actually, I'm driving right now.
Okay,
Just
cool,
reaching
cool.
in 10 minutes.
Cool.
Distance between 2 points A and B, whose coordinates are A2 and 4,6 is 5 units. What is the value of A?
So how shall I start? Distance is given by under root of
4 minus A square plus 6 minus 2 square.
if I square everything, this becomes 25. This is 4 square is 16. What is a minus b the whole square? A square minus 2ab, 2 into plus a square. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is 16. Have I did anything wrong? 4 minus a square, 6 minus 2. Okay, this is 25. All right, so this becomes 32. 32 minus 25 is 7. So I'm getting a square minus 8a plus 7 is equal to 0. How will I factorize? A minus 7, a minus 1 is equal to 0. So a comes out to be 1 or 7. Okay, not that difficult. I think everyone would have solved it. I think the
Yes.
second question. This is a good one. Shiva, why were you not present in the earlier classes? I haven't seen you in quite a while.
Last week I went to Dubai. I could not attend classes. So this week I came to India. I'm attending.
Thank you. Thank you so much for attending, Shiva.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Go for second question.
you. In a coordinate system, P equal to 2,7 and Q equal to 2,-3, which of the following could be the coordinates of R if PQR is an isosceles triangle?
Okay, I'll just be right. I'll not be using the figure. We can just, let's say P, Q, R. I do not know where the exact coordinates are. P is, let's say, 2,7. Q is 2,-3. R ka coordinates we do not know. Question is asking which of the following could be the coordinates of R if PQR is an isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle has two sides of equal length. But do we know whether PQ is equal to PR or, so if it's an isosceles triangle, then PQ can be equal to QR or PQ can be equal to PR. But we do not know which sides are equal. All right.
Yes.
By the
Yes.
way, what is the value of PQ? If you want to calculate the length of PQ,
10.
under root of 2 minus 2 the whole square plus
Plus
7 minus of minus 3.
10 square.
So 10 square is 100. Under root of 100 is
10.
10. Okay.
Aman, in this, you can also have PR equals to QR, right? For the two sides.
PR equals to QR.
QR.
Yeah, it can be.
Yes. Cool. So coordinates of R are given. So let's find PQ we know, and we know the coordinates of R. Let's say we are finding QR. Okay. What will be QR if this is R? X2 as in let's say 12 minus 2 the whole
10.
square, which is
12
10
minus 2
square,
whole square.
plus minus 3
0.
minus of minus 3, which is 0. This is 10. So two sides same. PQ is equal to QR.
Yes.
So yes. Check option 2. What is QR here?
QR square root of 8 square
See minus 6
plus 6
minus
square.
minus 6 minus 2, which is minus 8 square. I'm writing it as 8 square because that doesn't matter. Similarly, minus
6
9
square.
minus of minus 3, which is minus 6 square. I'm writing as 6 square.
6 square.
So 64 plus 36, which is 100. So
100, 10.
root of 100 is 10.
10.
So is PQ equal to QR here?
Yes.
Yes. In the third case, check QR
Is also 10.
minus 117 minus 2, which is minus 119. So 119
Here is
square
10.
plus 2 minus of minus 3, which is 5 square. But is it equal to 10?
No.
So PQ not equal to QR. But there can be other possibilities. Let's say this
Yes.
is not equal to this, but there may be a possibility wherein this and this are equal, or this and this are equal. So let's check the value of PR.
PR can be QR.
What is PR? Minus 117 minus 2, which is minus 119 whole square. I'm writing as 119 square, plus 2 minus 7, which is minus 5. I'm writing as 5
Right.
square. Can you see?
Yes.
PR equals QR. So is this an isosceles triangle?
Yes.
Yes. So for all the options, we can get an isosceles triangle. So option E. Is this point clear?
Yes.
No. So the diagram is already there. I'm remaking the diagram. Let's say if this is your line. At this point, when it is cutting the x-axis, what is the value of y? 0. Okay. Let's say this value is b. So whatever distance this line makes from the origin, what is this distance, by the way?
B. Intercept.
This is called as the x-intercept. Similarly, this line is cutting the y-axis here, wherein x coordinate is 0, y coordinate is, let's say, L, for example. Okay. So this distance from the origin, which is L, is called as the y-intercept. I've written it something else, but y-intercept would be this, x-intercept would be this. For example, if a graph is there, okay, what is the x? So let's say if this is the point wherein you are getting y coordinate as 0. So this is some x value that you are getting, let's say x1. And make the diagram again. So can I say this graph will have how many x-intercepts? Let's say this will be one
2
x-intercept
intercepts.
and this will be another intercept, which is x2. So wherever, let's say this line is cutting, the distance from the origin, this is your x-intercept, and the distance from origin here, that will be y-intercept. In order to find y-intercept, you can make x coordinate as 0 and find the value of y. In order to find x-intercept, you can make the y value to be 0 and find the value of x-intercept. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's one more point that I would like to highlight, not that relevant with respect to exam. Let's say there is a point R that divides a line segment PQ having coordinates x1, y1 and x2 comma y2 in the ratio m is to n. Okay. Then the coordinates of point R would be m multiplied by x2 plus n multiplied by x1 cross multiplying divided by m plus n. Similarly, if we want to talk about y coordinate, it should be m multiplied by y2 plus n multiplied by y1 divided by m plus n. Not that important, but it may be used somewhere. Less chances, but it's important that you remember this. Okay. So let me ask you, if there's a point, let's say 1, 2 and 5, 6. If let's say there's a point R that divides the line in the ratio 1, 1 is to 1, what will be the coordinates of R? Who's going to help? Gaurav, can you help?
All right, so we have to find R, right?
We have to find the coordinates of R.
Coordinates of R. All right. So the ratio is 1:1.
Use the same thing.
Okay. So the ratio of m/n is 1:1, right?
Yes.
Okay, so x2 is your 5. So 5 plus 1.
So 1 into 5,
Upon-
this is 5
That's
plus
your
1
y.
into
So 5
1,
plus 1
2.
2. So yeah, that's 6,
One-
3.
1 into
So it's
6
3 and
plus 1 into 2 by 2.
4.
So
Four,
this
yeah.
is 3,
So 3 and 4.
3, 4. Let's say slope is my. So one way of representation, I have told this. The second way is this. Slope is minus of y-intercept of the line divided by x-intercept of the line. Okay. So let's say if you have if the equation of line is ax plus by is equal to c. In order to find y-intercept, what are you going to do? Just
X.
imagine,
Make x 0.
make x as 0. So we have made x as 0. So b into y-intercept is c. So y-intercept is c upon b. Similarly, in order to find x-intercept, we have made y as 0.
Y 0.
So we are getting the value of a into x-intercept plus 0 is equal to c. So x-intercept comes out to be c by a. Putting the value in y-intercept and x-intercept, y-intercept upon x-intercept. What is y-intercept? C upon b. And what is x-intercept? C upon a. And there's a minus sign. So a will go in the numerator, b will come in the denominator, and the result would be minus a comma b. Okay. Similarly, example I've given 2x plus 3y is 10. X-intercept, how will you find? By taking y is equal to 0. So x-intercept comes out to be 5. Similarly, in order to find y-intercept, I'll take x is equal to 0. So I'll get 3y is equal to 10. So y comes out to be 10 by 3. What will be the slope? Minus of y-intercept, which is 10 by 3, divided by the x-intercept, which is 5. So my result comes out to be minus 2 by 3. Similarly, in example 2, slope is nothing but minus of y-intercept. Directly calculate y-intercept by taking x is equal to 0. So y comes out to be 3 divided by x-intercept. How will you find x-intercept? By taking y as 0. So if you are taking y as 0, 3x is 12. So x comes out to be 4. So slope is minus of y-intercept upon x-intercept. Is this point clear? Any doubts?
No doubts.
Okay. Who's going to help me out? Ashna, can you help me out with this question?
No, sir. In the coordinate plane, the y-intercept of the line K is equal to twice its slope. The
Okay.
y-intercept is not 0.
Okay, so slope is minus of y-intercept upon x-intercept. What is the
Yes,
value of
sir.
y-intercept?
Twice its slope.
Let's say the
So,
value of slope is s
S, so 2S.
divided by x-intercept.
X-intercept.
If I take x-intercept on the left, can I
Minus
cancel?
2.
Can I cancel s and s?
Yes, minus 2.
Because y-intercept is
Y-intercept is not 0.
so x-intercept comes out to be minus 2. What is
Minus
the x-intercept of the line? Minus 2. Not that difficult a question. All right, so here are some concepts. So, example, if a line is like this, from left to right, as you can see that the line is going upwards, correct? And what is this angle? So whenever I am saying the line makes an angle 30 degree, so I'm saying with respect to positive x-axis in the anti-clockwise. If this theta is between 0 and 90 degree, then the slope is positive. But let's say if the line is making angle like this, or let's say this, all these angles are, is this greater
obtuse
than
angles.
90? 180? Greater than 90, less than 180. Here, the slope will be negative, and in these cases, the slope is going to be positive. What happens when the line is parallel to x-axis? Let's say theta was 30 degrees, theta 20, theta 10. What will happen when the line becomes parallel to the x-axis?
0.
Theta becomes 0.
Okay. What happens when the line is perpendicular? Then theta. Okay. What happens when the line is perpendicular?
90.
Theta is 90.
Theta is 90 and the line will be parallel to
Parallel to y-axis.
y-axis. What will be the y-intercept of this line, if I may ask? Will it be positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative.
What will be the what will be the x-intercept of this?
Intercept.
Not y-intercept. X-intercept will be
X-intercept.
negative.
Yeah.
What will be y-intercept of this line? Of this
Positive.
Positive.
positive. What will be y-intercept of this line?
Positive.
What will be y-intercept of this line? Sorry, x-intercept of this line.
X-intercept of
Positive.
positive.
ठीक है. These are some very important properties. Let's say if the slope of a line is negative, see if the slope is negative, then the line can be this, or this, or this. Okay. First quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. That means whatever is the case, the line will definitely pass if the slope is negative. The line is definitely going to pass second and fourth quadrant. This is what I said. Now I am saying if the line is not passing through the origin, so I am slashing out the line that is passing through the origin. X and Y intercepts of the line, let's say this is a negative slope. X and Y intercepts, Y intercept and X intercept, will they be of the same sign? Yes. Talking about this line, X intercept is negative, Y intercept is negative, but still they are of the same signs. Okay? But more specific, if X and Y intercepts are positive, that means the line is passing through quadrant 1, quadrant 2, and quadrant 4. Okay, if the X and Y intercepts are positive. Similarly, if the X and Y intercepts are negative, then the line is passing through which of the quadrants? Quadrant number 2, quadrant number 3, quadrant number 4. Okay. This can be used somewhere. I'll say points to remember, important. Similarly, slope of the line is positive. So slope is positive, slope positive, slope positive. The line will definitely intersect which of the quadrants? First
1 and 3.
quadrant and the third.
First and third.
But if we are excluding this line, if the line is not passing through origin, if we are excluding, so first quadrant and third quadrant definitely pass the line, the line will definitely pass as it will have a positive slope. Now let's say what is the y-intercept? Positive. X-intercept negative. X-intercept positive. Y-intercept negative. That means in both the cases, X and Y-intercept are of opposite signs. Okay. Let's take this case. Let's take this line. It is passing through quadrant 1, 3, and 4. This line is passing through quadrant 1, 3, 4. It has x-intercept as positive. X-intercept is positive. Similarly, if you talk about this line is passing through quadrant 1, this line is passing through quadrant 2 and quadrant 3. What about the x-intercept? X-intercept is negative, y-intercept is positive. Here, x-intercept was positive, y-intercept was negative. So if x-intercept, y-intercept positive, negative, 1, 3, 4, else 1, 2, 3. But both these lines will pass through 3 quadrants. What about the line? What about this line? How many quadrants will it pass through?
2,
2 quadrants.
1 and 3.
So first and third.
1 and 3, not 2 and 3.
No, sir, 1 and 2. That's what I
Yeah,
said.
yeah. Shiva said 2 and 3.
1 and 3.
Every line, no need to remember, you can always make diagrams and find out. All right. Every line except the one crossing the origin, or let's say a line that is parallel, or let's say x and y axis themselves crosses 3 quadrants. See, all these lines that I have made here, they pass through 2 quadrants. Whether you take these parallel lines that are parallel to x axis, or you take L5 and L6 that are parallel to y axis, they are passing through only 2 quadrants. Similarly, the lines that are passing through origin, they are also passing through 2 quadrants. And all of these lines, let's say this line is passing through 2, 1, and 4. This line is passing through quadrant 1, 2, and 3. This line is passing through quadrant 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So if the lines are not like this, they will definitely pass through 3 quadrants. Is this point clear?
Yes, sir.
Acha. So
So
Anshit,
for lines to pass through 2 quadrants, they must cross the origin as well, right?
they must.
They must pass through the origin as well.
No, this line is passing through 2 quadrants, but is it passing through origin?
No,
Is
No.
this line passing through origin?
no.
So not a must be true condition. See, I think we have already discussed this. If a line is horizontal, let's say this is a horizontal line, this is a horizontal line. It has a slope of 0. It is parallel to the x-axis, and so if we talk about this line crosses or passes through quadrant 1 and 2. And what about the y-intercept? Is it positive or negative? Positive.
Yeah.
What about the y-intercept of this line? Y-intercept is negative, and it passes through quadrant 3 and 4. Similarly, if I talk about line that is parallel to y-axis or perpendicular to x-axis, if I talk about this line. So for example, if I'm saying y is equal to 4, that means I'm talking about those points or the line wherein every time the y coordinate is 4, every time. So you take whichever point, let's say this, y coordinate is 4, this point, y coordinate is 4. So we are talking about y is equal to 4, that will be parallel to x-axis. Let's say if I were to draw y is equal to -4, it will look like this. Similarly, if I were to draw x is equal to 2. So in this line, let's say if the y coordinate is 4 here, what will be the x coordinate? Astha?
2.
2.
Every time you take whichever point, the x coordinate is going to be 2. Hence, this line is called x is equal to 2. And what will be the x-intercept? +2. For this line, which is x is equal to -2, what will be the x-intercept? -2. If I talk about this line crosses quadrant 1 and 4. What about this line? It crosses quadrant 2 and 3. Okay. So whatever theory that is written, you can go through it. If the x-intercept is positive, then the line will pass through quadrant 1 and 4. If the x-intercept is negative, then the line will pass through quadrant 2 and 3. But rather than remembering what I have told, it's important to focus on the figures. As long as you are able to make it, you don't have to remember anything. So let's say we are given 1, 2 and 3, 4. Can you find the slope?
4 minus 2 by 3 minus 1.
y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. This is what I have given. If the slope is 1, let's say slope, for example, 1, 2. What is the slope here? Okay, take the same example. What is the slope coming? 4 minus 2, 2 divided by 2. which is 1. If the slope is 1, let's say if a line is making a slope of 1, then what will be the angle with respect to x-axis? If the value of the
45.
slope is 1,
45 degree.
theta is 45 degrees. Okay. So can you tell me why? Okay, we'll take this example afterwards. Equation of line. All right. So I've given a lot of theory, but I'll give you an example. Let's say slope of a line is given by m, which is tan theta. So I'm saying slope of a line is given m is equal to 2, and the line passes through the point 1, 2. How will you write the equation of the line? I will say I'll write y minus the point. See, this is x1 and this is y1. So y minus y1 is equal to slope x minus x1. So I'm writing y minus y1 is equal to slope x minus x1. Solving it will give you the answer. All right. Equation of x-axis we have discussed. X-axis ka equation is y is equal to 0. Similarly, equation of y-axis is x is equal to 0. Equation of line parallel to x-axis. Let's say if it is 2, so the equation of line is y is equal to 2. Let's say equation of line parallel to y-axis, that is at a distance of, let's say, 5 units. So I'm saying x-intercept is minus 5. So this line will be x is equal to minus 5. This we have already discussed. For example, we have a line that is passing through 2 points, 1, 2 and 3, 4. How will I write the equation? By using the same thing. I will say, if you are assuming this to be x1, y1, then the equation of line would be y minus y1 is equal to slope x minus x1. What will be the slope? We know how to find the slope, that is 4 minus 2 divided by 3 minus 1, which is 2 by 2, which is 1. So this is 1. Can you write the equation by using this point? So I've assumed this point to be x1, y1, correct? Let's say if I haven't assumed this point and I am taking this point to be x1, y1. So can I say y minus 4 is equal to slope, which is 1, x minus 3. But are these two equations different? They should be the same,
No.
right?
Both are same.
But it looks a bit different. So I'll solve and check. So
Mm.
y is equal to x minus 1 and there's a plus 2. So this equation will be y is equal to x plus 1. Let's check it out. Y is equal to 4 plus x minus 3, which is also y is equal to x plus 1. So you take whichever point, if you are talking about the same line and these 2 points lie, whichever point you are taking, they'll get you the same equation. Is this point clear
Yes,
to
sir.
everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So same line, I'm just taking one example, 2x plus 3y is equal to 12. In order to write this line in this form, I will write 2x plus 3y minus 12 is equal to 0. In order to write line in this form, I'll write 3y is equal to minus of 2x plus 12. After dividing by 3, I'll say minus 2 by 3x plus 12 by 3, which is 4. So this is of the form y is equal to mx plus c. So what is the slope of the line?
Minus
Directly,
2 by 3.
minus 2 by 3.
how will you find the slope here? In the second part, I have given slope is minus of coefficient of x. What is coefficient of x? A divided by coefficient of y, which is b. Minus of what is coefficient of x? 2 divided by coefficient of y, 3. So again the same slope as we are talking about the same line. Okay. This we have discussed. If you know what is the slope and know what one point that is lying on the line, you can draw or you can make the equation. If 2 points are known, this will be the equation that we have just discussed. Okay. So if you know only one point, can you decide the equation of line? If you know, let's say a line is passing through 1, 2, will you be sure which line the question is talking about?
No.
It
No.
can be this line, it can be this line, it can be this line, it can be this line. Infinite lines are possible. But if you know 2 points, then only
One line.
one line is possible. So for a line, you should know at least 2 points. What about the case in case of a circle? Let's say if you want to make a circle, let's say you know that a circle is passing through 2 points. So how many circles will be possible? Let's say you can make a circle like this.
So many.
You can make a circle like, let's say this. You can make a circle like this. How many circles are possible that are passing through 2 points?
Infinite.
So for a circle, you will be needing at least
3.
3 points. You need to have information about 3 points that are lying on circle. Okay? Important point that I've just told.
But if we know a point and slope, then also it is enough, right?
Absolutely. Yes. In order to convert this line, if x and y intercepts are a and b, then the equation of line is given by this. Can you convert this line into this form? I want a 1 here, so I'm dividing the equation by 12. So I get x by 6 plus y by 4 is equal to 1. So this equation states that this will be your x-intercept and this will be your y-intercept. So if you know this form, making a graph will be very easy. You need not check with, let's say, 2 values and then make a graph. Earlier, what we used to do, let's say 2x plus 3y is equal to 12. I'll say first y is 0, then x is 6, then I'll say x is 0, then y is 4. Once I know these 2 points, I'll say 6, 0 is here, 0, 4 is here, then the line will be this. So rather than finding these, if you are able to convert the equation of line into this form, you already know x-intercept is 6, y-intercept is 4. This is your line. Similarly, if I'm saying, okay, I've given you an example, 40x minus 120y is 240. In order to convert this line into this form, what should we do? Dividing the equation by 240. If I'm dividing, I'll getting x by 6. Please remember that you had minus here. So I've taken this minus in the denominator is equal to 1. So x by 6 plus y by minus 2 is a 1. So this is your x-intercept, which is 6. What is your y-intercept? Minus 2. So the line will look like this. So line will have a positive slope, negative slope.
Positive slope. Positive.
Positive slope. Okay. So I think this, I consider this equation as important. Whenever I want to make graphs, I take help of this form. Okay, but whichever form suits you. Okay, this is about comparison. So this is about comparison between two slopes, as in two lines having negative slopes. Let's say this line, theta greater than 90, theta is also greater than 90. Okay, what to do? Which line has a greater slope? I will say whichever line that is to the left. So M is to the left of this line, so I'll say slope of M is greater than slope of L. And if you have any trouble, understanding which line lies to the left, I'll give you a good idea to go about it. Just put this line. Let's say if this is your line, I am saying I'm transposing this line M to this point. As in, I'm making a line parallel to M and I'm putting it here. Say this is your line M and L. So from this point, it is easier to say that line M is to the left of line L. So slope of M is greater than slope of L. But this is, please understand that this is only when we are comparing negative slopes. Similarly, when we are comparing positive slopes, for example, if this is your line D and this was your line C, okay, these are not converging at the same point. If you are having problems, I'll say transpose this line here. I'm saying transpose this line C here. So it will look something like this. Whichever line that is to the left, which is to the left, C is to the left. So I'll say slope of C is greater than slope of D. Is this point clear?
Yes, sir.
Sanjana, is this point clear?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I was doing it in a way where I was seeing where is the line starting from, for both for the first case and the second case. So, for example, even if it's a negative slope, M, the point from where it is starting is to the left of L. So that's how I concluded that the slope of
Okay.
M is greater.
Okay. But I would suggest you go through this. Is there a difficulty in understanding this? Sanjana?
No difficulty.
Okay, all right. By the way, let's say if I were to compare slope of L, okay, versus slope of C, which will have a greater slope, by the way?
C.
C.
C, as C will have a positive slope and slope L. Already we are saying that means the value that you are going to find out of slope will be negative. Here the value will be positive. So slope of C will be greater than slope of L. Okay. This we have covered. If two lines are parallel, let's say there's a line 2x plus 3y is equal to 12, and there's a line that is parallel to this line. What will be the slope of this line? The same slope. What is the slope of this line, by the way?
Minus 2 by
Negative.
Minus of coefficient of x upon y. So this will have the same slope. Let's say there is a line that is perpendicular to this line. So when two lines are perpendicular to each other, product of their slopes is -1. Product, if this is minus 2 by 3, this would be
3 by 2.
as the product of their slopes should be -1. If in the question it is given if the two lines are not intersecting and if they are in the same plane. So mostly we'll talk about x, y. This is which dimension? 2D, right? Two dimensions are there. So we are not talking about three-dimensional figures. So if two lines are not intersecting here, so they'll be parallel. Okay, Nupur, let me ask you. Let's say if this is one line and this is another line. Can we say that these lines are not intersecting?
But at the some point they will intersect, they will meet.
Correct. So these lines are intersecting. Okay. What about these lines? I'm saying they are parallel to each other.
Yeah.
So are they intersecting?
No, they are parallel. They are not
So
intersecting.
if the two lines do not intersect, then they are parallel. The point of intersection of two lines is obtained by, let's say, there's one line which is 2x plus 3y is equal to 12, and there's one line y is equal to x. If we want to find where are they intersecting, what to do? We'll have to solve these two equations
Yeah.
simultaneously and find the values of x and y. In this case, what kind of solutions are we going to get? Unique solution, many solutions, There are no solutions.
Unique solution.
Unique.
Only one pair of x and y,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Good. All right. Nupur, arrange the slopes in ascending order.
Okay. So
What are the positive sloped line here?
so the positive are B and one is
Come on, A. Check the
sorry, A
angle,
and B.
no?
Okay,
Check,
yeah, A and B.
check the angle. Positive. What about line D?
Now this one is negative.
What about C?
C is also negative.
So that means I'm sure that slope of AB is greater than slope of
Slope
CD.
of C and D.
Now compares slopes of A and B. Which is greater? Whichever
Left
line
side
that is
one.
to the
A.
left. The slope of A greater than slope of B. Similarly, slope of C and D. Which is to the left? One
C
line
is
is here,
greater
one
than
line is here.
C is greater than D.
So C is greater than D. Can I say A is greater than B is greater than C is greater than D? But the question is saying arrange the slopes in ascending order. So your answer will be D less than C less than B
Negative, yeah.
less than A. Example 2.
Uh,
Which are the greater slope?
so
AB,
AB. The
whichever,
line AB.
whichever line that is to the left. Okay, so
Yeah.
AB.
AB.
Example 3. Which line has a greater slope? This is L1 and this is L2.
L1 is greater than L2.
Whichever
Because
line that is to the left.
L1 is left to the L2.
Slope of L1 is greater than slope of L2. No need to think. Okay. If you are having confusions, then transpose this line here at this point. It's easier to compare. This is L1, this is L2. So L1 lies on the left. This is how we compare. Who's going to go for this question? Tanisha, can you go for this question?
Yeah, man. The y-intercept of a line L is 4.
Hmm.
If the slope of L is negative, which of
That
the
means
following
the line can be this negative slope. Could be this.
Yeah.
Be this. Can the line be this?
No,
Why?
this is a positive slope.
This is a positive slope. So this is rejected. Okay. So this can be x-intercept, x-intercept, x-intercept. In all the cases, x-intercept needs to be
Positive.
positive. Which of the following could be the x-intercept?
And
Is it
so
possible?
-1, no. 0 also not possible, so it's just 6.
Why 0 is not possible? Can't the line be, as in x-intercept 0 would mean something like this? Can't the line be this?
Then the slope would be infinite, right?
Then the slope
It's
would be
not a negative slope.
then the slope would be undefined. Okay. So when theta is equal to 90 degrees, slope is undefined. Slope is not negative. I've always said when when there is negative slope, the angle should be greater than 90 and lesser than 180. Okay, for a negative slope line.
Sir,
Hmm.
I think I messed up on one point. When you said ये जो 4 के side में line है in the second quadrant, that can this be negative or not? Then
This
how
look-
I determining it from the angle? Let's have angle बना के determine करते if it's positive or negative. Or
so
you
check-
see the
So check now, do you see that this angle is greater than 90 degrees? It is definitely lesser than 90 degrees.
less than 90.
That means the slope is positive. So if the line is like this, if theta is lesser than 90 degrees, slope positive. But if theta is greater than 90 degrees, slope is negative.
Negative. Okay, ठीक है. Thank you.
Okay, questions. It's going to explain. Chalo. Yasha. Go for question number 1, Yasha, if you can hear us. This is not responding. Vatsalya.
In the coordinate plane,
Hmm.
line K passes through the origin
Hmm.
of points 3, y
And
and
has a slope 2.
2.
Slope of the line is 2.
If points 3, y and x, 4 are on the line K, then x plus y is equals to.
What? Okay. You have the slope information.
Yes.
Using these 2 points, can you find the slope?
Yes.
Which is
4
minus 0.
minus 0 and 0 x minus 0.
So 2x is equal to 4. So x comes out to be
2.
Okay. Similarly, using this point and this point, can you find the slope of the line?
Yes. 2 is equals to y minus
0, which is y.
0. Yeah,
divided
and
by 3 minus
3 minus 0. 6.
So what is x
That
plus
would
y?
be 8.
Very good. Go for the next question.
If the line passes through the origin, what's the value of K?
Okay.
0. Yeah, again the same thing.
Using these 2 points, can you find the slope?
Yeah. M is
7.
equals to 7 minus 0 and minus 4. Yeah.
Similarly, using these 2 points, can you find the slope?
Yes, that would be K and like 14.
K minus 0 divided by 14
Yes.
minus 0. So this would be 98 by 4, as in 2 2s are 4, 2 7s are
49.
14. So minus 49 by 2, which is
24.5.
minus 24.5. Okay, good. Go for this one as well. What's the
Line I is defined by the equation.
Okay, I'm saying this is line L. Okay.
Okay, line L is defined by the equation y minus 5x is equals to 4.
So what will be the slope of this line, by the way?
It would be y 4
5.
5 by 5.
Okay, and how did you do it?
Slope is coefficient of x by y.
Minus of coefficient of x
Yeah. So minus would be plus.
divided by coefficient of y. So 5.
And line W is defined by the equation 10y plus 2x plus 20.
What will be the slope of this line?
Slope would be 1 by 5, minus 1 by 5.
Minus 2 by 10, which is minus 1 by 5.
If the line A does not intersect the line L,
What does it mean if it is not intersecting?
parallel lines? No.
Parallel lines, yes. If the lines are not intersecting, if they are not meeting, if they are not cutting each other,
Yeah, so parallel lines.
and parallel lines will have the same slope.
Yeah. What is the degree of measure of the angle formed by the line K and line W?
See, line K and line W. See, we only know that, the angle could be, I do not know whether this angle could be 45, but the only case that we are dealing with right now is whether the lines are parallel or perpendicular. Okay.
Okay.
So you just need to check whether these 2 lines, K and W, are they perpendicular to each other? How to check whether the lines are perpendicular to each other, Vatsalya?
90 degrees it should be.
Should be. Okay, 90 degrees. And another way to check, if you have the slope information, how will you check?
M into M1, M into M1 minus 1.
Product of
M1
the
into
slopes.
M2, yeah, minus 1.
So is it coming to be minus 1? Product 5 into minus 1 by 5.
Yes, it's coming to be minus 1.
So what is the angle between the 2 lines K and W?
Perpendicular, 90 degree.
Good. Shashank, go for question number 4.
Yes, sir. In an xy coordinate plane, the line x is equal to 5 is a perpendicular bisector of the line segment AB.
Okay, so x is equal to 5 would be somewhere here.
Yeah.
X is equal to 5 is a perpendicular bisector. What is perpendicular bisector? See, this is not that relevant perpendicular bisector would mean dividing into two equal parts. So this line
Okay.
divides a certain line into two equal parts. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And this is perpendicular. Now, if
Now, if the coordinates of point A are -1, 2, then
Okay.
what are the coordinates of point B?
okay, -1, 2. Do you know the x coordinate of this point? X coordinate, I'm saying.
Yeah, that's 5.
Do you know the y coordinate of this point? See, if this is a
That's 2, sir.
perpendicular, so this line
Yeah,
will
that's 2.
so this line will be parallel to this x-axis. So if this is at a distance of 2 units, this will also be at a distance of 2 units. So let's say if this is 5, 2 and this is -1, 2, what will be this distance? This is 5
That'll
units.
be 6.
This is 5
Yeah.
units. And this is how many units?
1.
This is 5 units, 1 unit, a total of 6 units.
Yeah.
This will also be 6
6 units.
units. If this is 5, 2, then what will be the coordinate? You just need to move a distance of 6 units. So x coordinate is 11 and y coordinate remains the same, which is 11, 2. Tell me if there is any problem. So this line, as in this line segment AB, is parallel to the x-axis. Is everyone okay with this point that these lines are parallel and hence we are not using any distance formula here?
Yes.
I only knew this is -1, 2 and this is 5, 2, so I directly calculated the distance to be 6 units. I hope it's clear. So the answer is 11, 2. And if this line AB was not parallel to x-axis, then you would have to use the distance formula in order to calculate the length. As it was parallel, hence the calculations were easier. Okay, question number 5. Astha, go on. Go for question number 5.
The graph of which of the following equations is a straight line that is parallel to line L in the figure above?
Okay, so first of all, find the slope quickly of this line.
Slope is
Minus of
-2 y
minus-
intercept
y-intercept is
-2
2
upon
divided by x-intercept.
3
Is it 3 really?
-3.
Minus
-3. Yeah.
The slope is 2 by 3. So if, let's say if some line is parallel, its slope would be
2
2
by
by
3.
3. What will be slope of this line? So y is equal to 2 by 3x. Slope is 2 by 3. So it could be our answer. What is the slope here?
-2 by 3.
Not our answer. What is the slope? Coefficient of x?
-2 by 3.
Not our answer. What is the slope? Coefficient minus of coefficient of x upon coefficient of y, which is 3 by 2. Not our answer. What is the slope here?
-3 by 2.
Not our answer. So answer A. Very good. Go for this question.
Line Z passes above points 5, 5 and 25, 15.
Just a sec. So this is, let's say, 5, 5, and this is
25, 15.
25, 15. And below the point?
Point 20, 15.
So I'm saying 20, 15 would lie somewhere here. Okay. This will lie along the same line if this is the line. Okay, this point and this point. Which of the following?
Would be the slope of line Z.
So line Z passes above these 2 points and below this point. That means the line Z is passing somewhat like this, or somewhat like this, or somewhat like this. Is this point clear?
Yes.
Above these 2 points and below this point. Correct? Now listen to the logic. I am saying, let's say this line, I'm saying this line is L1. This makes an angle of, let's say, 40 degrees. Slope is 40. Let's say this line L2. This makes an angle of 60 degrees. Okay. Let's say there is one line that makes an angle of 70 degrees. Can that line pass through, as in pass between these points?
No.
As in slope is 40 degrees. I'm saying there's a line. Can this line, let's say, which is passing like this, has a slope of 70 degrees?
No, it will be between 40 and 60.
Difficult, right? Similarly, if the line has a slope of 39 degrees, it will pass maybe like this. Are you getting this point or not?
Yes.
No, sir.
Yes or yes or no? Is there a no?
No, sir. Can you please repeat?
Okay, I'm saying, let's say, if there's a line, let's say this line has an angle of 40 degrees. Okay. I'm saying if there is a line having a slope of or making an angle of 20 degrees, that means slope of the line would be something like this. That means it is crossing, right? I want a line that is passing above these 2 points. So if the line is passing above these 2 points, I am saying the slope has to be greater than 40. But slope shouldn't be that much also, so that the line is not below this point. If the slope is, let's say, 70 degrees, then line would be something like this, slope of 70. So it may not pass below this point. That means the slope of the line that we are talking about should be greater than slope of this line L1, and it should be lesser than the slope of this line, which is L2. What is slope of L1, by the way?
Got it.
15 minus 5, 10 divided by 20. And this is slope of line Z that we are talking about. And slope of L2 would be 15 minus 5, which is 10 divided by 15, which is 2 by 3. So 1 by 2 is 0.5, 2 by 3 is 0.66. So check, this is 0.25. Does it lie in the range? No. 3 by 8 is 37.5%, which is 0.375. Does it lie in the range? Sorry, no. What is 5 by 8?
2 point.
See, 1 by 8 is 12.5%. So 5 by 8 would be 62.5%, which is 0.625. Does it lie in the range? Yes. 3 by 4 is 0.75. Does it lie in the range? No. 7 by 8 is 87.5%, which is 0.875, which also does not lie in the range. So could be, possibility is option C. I hope it's clear. So I'm saying, let's say, if we were to make this question simpler, okay? I am saying, let's say there is a point 1, there is this point 2, there is this point 3. Okay? I am saying there is a line that is passing through point 1, okay? But it is below the point 3 and above the point 2. That means the line could be something like this, or the line could be something like this, or the line could be something like this. This means that slope of these lines should be greater than slope of line 2, but should be lesser than slope of the line 3. Is my point clear? Everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I have a doubt in the previous question. So the slope which is towards the left side is generally greater than the slope of the line which is on the right hand side, right? So
so
when you
slope,
took the slope for 40 and 60, 40 was less than 60. The angle, this particular question only, when you took the angle as 40 degrees and 60 degrees.
Arey Baba, so this line has a lesser slope, no? This is 40. This is 60. So I said whichever line that is to the left will have a greater slope. So this line has a greater slope now, having an angle of 60 degrees. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So Nikhil, go for 7th.
Yes, sir. Which of the following could be the equation of a line parallel to the line 3x plus 2y is equal to 8?
What will be the slope? Quickly.
Slope will be, we can divide it by,
Minus of coefficient
yeah,
of
okay, minus of y, yeah. 3
coefficient
by
of x divided by
by
coefficient of y.
3 by.
So where is the slope? Minus 3 by 2. And all these lines are of the form y is equal to mx plus c, where m is the slope. So where m is minus 3 by 2?
D.
Option D. Not that difficult. Question number 8. Nikhil, you only go. Not Nikhil. Not Nikhil. Palak, are you available? All right. Go for
What
this.
is the equation? What is the equation of the line whose intercepts are twice of the line 3x minus 2y minus 12 equal to
So
0?
first of all, find the intercept of this. How will you find intercept? Can you convert this line into intercept form?
Yeah, we can divide it by 12.
Intercept form is of this sort.
Yeah.
So we are dividing by 12, so I'm getting x by 4,
4 minus
5 by
5 by
6.
6.
So rather than taking a minus here, I'm saying this is plus and this is minus. So you need that equation of line whose intercepts are twice of this. So you need to have an equation of line whose x-intercept is 8 and whose y-intercept is?
Minus 12. Equal to 1.
So minus 12x plus 8y is equal to, is equal to minus 96. So I'm saying, I'm multiplying again by a minus sign. So I'm saying 12x minus 8y is equal to 96. I will divide this equation by what?
4.
By 4. 4 3s are 12, 4 2s are 8, 4 24.
Option A.
So
Option A.
this is 3x minus 3y, this is 2x minus 3y, this is 2x minus 3y. Okay. I use this approach here as I found it easier. You can use another approach if you want.
Aman, I have a question on this.
Hmm.
If there are points, like there's a point A and B, and then the second point is 2A, 2B, won't they essentially be on the same line?
A comma B and
2A comma 2B, like the same question, which is the intercepts are twice of the first one.
okay. So if you're talking about A comma B, you're talking about coordinate. And in other case, you're talking about intercept. Those two are different things.
No, I meant, so sorry, when X intercept is, let's say, A and Y intercept is B for point 1, which
for
is
line for line 1, you're saying line 1, not point 1.
Fair. No, for a specific point on the graph, let's say it's 1, 2.
Then you're not talking about X and Y intercept. X and Y intercept, you mean X and Y intercept when the line is crossing or cutting X and Y axis. Is this point cutting or crossing X and Y axis?
No, okay, correct, fair. So I'm saying if you double it, like the same what the question says, which is if there's one point, if one of the the points it intercepts is 1 and 2, and the other one is like, let's say 2 and 4, can you say that the slope is equal because it's on the same line?
Maybe we can take your doubt at the end of the class because I'm unable to understand.
Okay, sure, no problem.
Okay. See, we are talking about intercepts. If you are saying that if there is a point, let's say 1, 2, and there's another point which is double of that 2, 4, then we are not sure whether that point will lie on the line. Okay, we'll take it afterwards. I don't think what you're asking is relevant at this point. Okay, Neil?
Sure.
Yeah. Can you go for this, Neil? Explain the question to us.
Sure. If the figure above is drawn to scale, Which of the
drawn
following
to scale, ठीक है? This
scale?
is the exact figure. Yeah.
Which of the following could be the equation of line L?
So first of all, slope of the line, is it positive, negative?
It's positive.
Positive. So eliminate all the lines having a negative slope. So
So
slope
E
is,
is gone.
rest is here. Tell me what are the y-intercept? What is the y-intercept here? Positive or negative?
It's negative.
Negative.
And X is positive.
What is y-intercept here? Positive or negative? For y-intercept, you need to make x as 0, right?
Correct. So Y will come as 4, which is positive, so that we can cancel.
Similarly, here when you take x is 0, y-intercept is again positive.
Yep.
So that is also cancelled. You're left with option B and C. Please
Correct.
tell me what according to you can be the slope here. Slope is minus of y-intercept, which is some negative value divided by some positive value. What is this, by the way? As in, do you think that this is approximately the same, whatever this is?
Yeah, more or less.
Correct? So can I say if this is more or less the same and minus is plus, can you say that the slope will be approximately 1, if not exactly 1?
Yeah.
So between option choices B and C, option choice B says that the slope is 4. As in this value is minus 4 and this value is 1. This is what option B is saying, and option C says slope is 1. As in this value is 1 and this value is 1. So which option I should go with? Which
C.
option choice should I select? Option choice.
C.
Because magnitude, as in magnitude or the value of slope, is too much here. Okay. And how did I know about it? Because I can see in the figure that this value and this value is about the same. Hence, go on.
No, correct. Because it said it's drawn to scale. That's why you can make that assumption.
Correct. Yeah. Absolutely right. Go for 10th as well. Question number 10th, Neil.
Yeah. Line P has a positive slope and a positive y-intercept. Line Q
Positive slope and a positive y-intercept.
y-intercept. Basically, yeah, cutting from first, second, and third quadrant. Line Q also has a positive slope and a positive y-intercept. So similar to line P, you can draw it. Which is like crossing through like first, second, and third quadrant. Yeah.
Let's say this.
Then the two slopes and the two y-intercepts are 4 different numbers.
Okay, that means the slopes are different and the y-intercepts
are different.
Which we have taken as different are different.
4 different numbers, common, unequal. Lines P and Q have a single intersection point.
Okay.
What is the full set of possible quadrants in which this intersection point could be?
Right now the intersection is in
second.
Can you make the intersection in the third quadrant?
Yeah, you can just you can just draw it, cut it like down to the third, and then there'll be a steeper line which is cutting way down. Yeah.
And we are also are we satisfying the conditions as well? Y-intercept positive, slope is positive for both the lines. Okay,
And
and
4
they are
different numbers. Yeah.
different numbers. The third quadrant is possible.
Yeah.
Is it possible in the first quadrant?
Yeah, it is.
How come is it possible? Let's say I'm drawing this line, that let's say this is line P. How can we draw line Q?
You
like
can
that?
have, yeah, like that. Correct.
Is it possible in the fourth quadrant? Let's say like this line P.
Not possible because y has to be a positive intercept.
Ashna, is this correct or is this incorrect? Ashna, Alia, Astha.
Yes, sir.
Is it correct or is it incorrect according to what the information is provided to us?
No, sir.
Why is it not correct? See, slope is positive for both the lines. But what is incorrect?
So in the fourth quadrant, the slope of line P is not positive.
Slope, can you say it again?
So in the fourth quadrant,
Huh?
the line P does not have a positive slope.
Arey Baba, both the lines have a positive slope. Theta is between 0 and 90 degrees. Slope is positive. Astha?
Y-intercept is negative.
Hanji. See, y-intercept here is negative. Y-intercept here is negative. Question is saying positive y-intercept. Hence, this case is rejected. So, second quadrant possible, third quadrant possible, first quadrant possible. 1 only, no. 1 and 3, no. 1 and 2, no. 1, 2, and 3 only. All 4 quadrants, not possible. Answer to this question, option D. Is this point clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. So general equation of a quadratic is y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, where a is non-zero. So a general quadratic graph looks like this, wherein at these 2 points, y coordinate is what? 0. So all those points where the y coordinate is 0, the x coordinates are called the roots of the quadratic. This is one important point. So how many roots does this equation or does this graph have?
2 roots.
What about this case?
Single root, 1 root.
Single root. Even if we are talking about this case?
1 root.
So in this case, the value of a, okay, I'll tell you later. So number of roots 1, number of roots 1. Let's say if the graph is like this. How many roots?
The real roots 0,
Hmm.
2 imaginary roots.
2 imaginary roots for this case and for this case. Okay. But if the graph is like this or like this, it will have 2 roots.
2 roots.
Sum of the roots, as in the 2 roots, would be given by this equation, minus b plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac by 2. One root is minus b plus something, the other root would be minus b minus something. Okay, let me tell you one more thing with respect to graphs specifically. Let's say I want to draw y is equal to x square. So when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, this point. When x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1, this point. When x is equal to minus 1, y is equal to 1, this point. The nature of the graph will look like this. So even if I am making the graph of y is equal to 2x square, the nature of the graph will be the same. It's just that when x is 0, y is 0. When x is 1, y would be now 2. As in here x was 1, y was 1. But here when x is 1, y is 2. The graph will be more sharp in this case. The graph would be something like this. It is increasing quickly. Here it is increasing gradually. Okay? But it will have the same nature. Similarly, if I say y is equal to minus x square, here if I compare with this line and this graph, so y is equal to a, which is 1 x square plus b will be 0 plus c will be 0. So this graph can be represented as this. So if I say y is equal to minus x square, so y is equal to minus x square would be something like this. Is this point clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, one more thing. If I am saying graph of y is equal to x plus 1 the whole square, how will be this graph? How will this graph look? So I'll say, I'll choose that point wherein y is 0. Can you choose a point wherein y is 0? Or if I am saying what will be the minimum value of y?
X is -1.
At x is equal to -1. So at x is equal to -1, the value of the graph would be 0. And will the graph be like this or like this?
The first.
If you open this, you'll get x square plus 2x plus 1. What is the coefficient of x square? Positive.
Positive.
That means the graph's nature will be something like this. If I am saying y is equal to x plus 1 the whole square plus 2, okay, then I just have to put this graph or move this graph upward by 2 units. If I am saying y is equal to x plus 1 square minus 2, that means if this was your graph and it says -2, then you shift this graph by 2 units. Is this point clear?
Yes.
Anyone who has any doubts, you can ask right away. I'm taking 2 more examples, but in a different way. I'm saying y is equal to minus of x minus 1 the whole square. First of all, tell me, will the graph look like this or will the graph look like this? By the way, whether the graph is upward facing or downward facing depends on the value of a. If a is positive, the graph will face upwards. If a is negative, the graph will face downwards. So once you expand it, what will be the coefficient of x square? -1.
Facing.
That means the graph will be downward facing. So what can be the maximum value? Where will the maximum value of the graph lie? Here?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want this graph to have a maximum value, okay, what can be the value of x?
1.
And how do you come to that realization that the value of x has to be 1? Because this graph is y is equal to minus of something, minus of some whole square. When can this value be maximum? When the
0, x equal to 1.
when this is, see, you are taking minus of something. So you can take -100, you can take -1000, you can take -1 lakh. So these values are decreasing. When can we get the maximum value? When we can make this as 0.
Yeah.
Correct? And when is it? And when is this 0?
X equal to 1.
X equal to 1. So when x is equal to 1, we'll check. So x is equal to 1 will be the maximum point of this graph. So at x is equal to 1, you'll get the maximum value of the graph, which is 0. That means the graph will look somewhat like this.
Yes.
If I am saying that I want to draw a graph of minus of x minus 1 square plus 2, what should I do?
Shift to upwards.
I need to shift by 1 unit, 2 units. The graph will look like this. If I want to have the equation of graph y is equal to minus of x minus 1 square minus 2, what should I do? Shift this graph by
It will shift by downwards.
2 units.
So, sir, if we know this and we can get an equation to this, then we can also sort of say that it won't have any real roots if we apply this, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Okay, how many real roots will this graph have?
0.
How many real roots will this graph have?
1.
1.
How many real roots will this graph have?
2.
2. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So D, as in x is equal to the roots I'm talking about, minus b plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac, which is d upon 2a. So this value decides if this value is greater than 0, you will have two distinct roots. If this value is equal to 0, you'll have just one root. If this value is negative, you will not have any roots, any real roots. You will have imaginary roots, two imaginary roots, and they'll happen or they'll be in pairs. Okay. If one root is 2 plus 3i, the other root will be 2 minus 3i, where I is equal to under root of minus 1. But this is not relevant with respect to your examination. So please don't focus. So two possibilities for this wherein d is equal to 0. These two graphs. D is greater than 0, again two possibilities wherein A is positive, here A is negative, A positive, A negative, A positive, A negative. Two important points. Sum of the roots. If your equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, if the roots are alpha and beta, so alpha plus beta is minus b by a, product of the roots would be c by a. Two important things. We have already discussed this. We have also discussed this. Let's say if I am saying y is equal to 2x square plus 1. Can you directly make the graph now? Y is equal to 2x square will look somewhat like this. What will be the graph of 2x square plus 1? Shifted by 1 unit. Okay, can you tell me what will be the minimum value of this graph? Nupur? Nupur.
Yes, sir.
Where will be the minimum value here? At this point, do you know the x coordinate?
Yeah, 0. That will be 0.
So what is the y value?
Will be 1. Yeah.
The minimum value of the graph would be 1. So graph is opening upwards and has its vertex. This is called as the vertex above x-axis. Okay. Similarly, if I'm saying y is equal to ax square minus c, let's say 2x square minus 1. You know the graph of y is equal to 2x square minus 1 would mean shifting the graph by 1 unit. Similarly, if I'm saying, I have said earlier that a and c are positive, as in here, if a and c are positive. So if the graph is of this nature, I'm saying y is equal to minus of 2x square plus c. So y is equal to 2x square, you know. So minus 2x square would be this.
Downward.
If we are adding something, let's say minus of 2x square plus 1. So
Upward, one upward.
upward by 1 unit. This will be the graph. If I am saying y is equal to minus of 2x square minus 1, then you have to
It
shift
will be shifted by 1 unit downward.
by 1 unit down.
Yeah.
Again, the same thing. If you need to graph the curve y is equal to minus 3x square plus 3, I'll first think about y is equal to minus 3x square.
Minus 3. Then it will shift upward by 3 units.
And what will be the, this is y is equal to minus 3x square plus 3. What is the maximum value of the graph here at this vertex? At x is equal to 0.
So 0 and 3.
And this will be 3. Similarly, minus of 3x plus 2 the whole square. So first of all, think with respect to minus of 3x square.
Then
What will be the graph of minus of 3x plus 2 the whole square? Come on. Y is equal to minus 3x plus 2 the whole square. Where can we get, first of all, tell me, will the graph be facing upwards or downwards? What is the
Downward.
value of A,
Downward.
positive or negative?
It will
Downward.
be downward.
Okay. That means here you are getting maximum value. Here there is a negative sign involved, negative of some square. When can this be maximum? When this value is 0. Else you'll always be getting negative values, right?
Yeah.
So at x is equal to minus 2.
Minus 2.
That means at x minus 1 minus 2, the graph will look like this. Minus of 3 times of x plus 2 the whole square. Okay. I do not know whether, when, at which point there this is intersecting. If I'm saying plus 4,
It will shift 4. point upward.
Then this graph will shift upwards by 4 units. Is this point clear to everyone? So this is
Yes, sir.
the graph. Okay, this may not be the actual graph, but it will look like this. This I know that this is x is equal to -2. That's for sure. X is equal to -2. I have drawn it randomly. Okay, I do not know whether it's crossing to the left of origin or maybe before the origin. Okay, this is a diagram that I have drawn. Some basic graphs that you need to have an idea of. Y is equal to x. Slope is 1. So could you please tell me if the slope is 1, what will be this angle?
45.
45.
90. Someone was saying 90. Arey Baba, slope 1, angle 45. Okay, y is equal to x. Similarly, y is equal to mod x. Let's say I do not know this graph. So I'll put x is equal to 1. I'll get y is equal to 1. Similarly, if I put x is equal to -1, what will I get? Y is equal to again 1. If I put x is equal to 0, I'll get y is equal to 0. 3 points. So y is equal to mod x will look like this. If I were to draw, let's say y is equal to mod x plus 2, how will I draw?
2 upwards.
2 upward.
If I were to draw mod of x minus 2,
Shift 2 downwards.
Downward.
if I were to draw y is equal to mod of x minus 1,
Shift to on left.
okay, I do not know where to shift. Okay,
Right side.
but let's say I want to find the minimum value of y. What will be the minimum value of y? Minimum value
0.
0. At what value of x?
0.
X equal to 1.
X is equal to 1. That means at this point, and since we are talking about mod will not have a negative value ever. So this graph can give you a 0 value or a positive value always. So what is the minimum value? 0. That means the graph will start from here. So this is the graph of y is equal to mod x minus 1. Is this point clear?
Yes.
You know about y is equal to x square. We'll discuss about this. Not that important, but just taken. So only one question on modulus graphs. Y is equal to mod of x. Let's say mod of x plus 1 minus 2. How will this graph look? First of all, think with respect to y is equal to mod x, which is this graph. If I am saying y is equal to mod of x plus 1, where will be the minimum value of the graph? At which?
-1.
At x is equal to -1. That means the source or the minimum value will be here. So the graph of y is equal to mod of x plus 1 will be somewhat like this. Somewhat I am saying. So how will the graph of y is equal to mod of x plus 1 minus 2 look?
2 downwards.
Shift down by 2 units. Is this point clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Y is equal to x cube. Suppose I do not know the graph. I'll take 3 points. Let's say x is equal to 0, so y becomes 0. That means graph is passing through the origin. I'll take x is equal to 1, for which I'll get the value of y to be 1. x1, I'll get y1. Similarly, once I take x as -1, I'll get y as -1. X I'm taking -1, y will be -1. So its nature can be found out something like this. Y is equal to 1 by x. Let's say x is infinite. Let's say x is 1 lakh. So the value will be very less. Value of y will be very less. Okay. Similarly, when x ka value is very small, let's say y is equal to 1 upon 0.0000. So the value of y will be very high. So when x is closer to 0, the value of y is higher. So the nature will be something like this. When you are coming into the negative domain, let's say x, to the left of x, there is a value which is minus of 0.00000. So the value of y will be very high, but in a negative sense. Value of y very high in a negative sense, as in minus infinity. Similarly, when the value of x is very high, y is equal to 1 by minus of 1 10 to the power, let's say 100 zeros. Okay? That means if x is very, very high in a negative sense, the value of y will be approximately 0. In that manner, I can judge the graph to be something like this. Till the 4 graphs it is relevant. This is just for your graph making understanding. X is equal to 0. Closer to x is equal to 0, you will get a maximum value of y. Similarly, when x is negative, let's say x is minus 0.0000001. So x square would be positive, and y is equal to 1 by something very small will give you something very high. So the nature of the graph would be something like this. Wherein x, when x is infinite, when you are taking the when you are making the denominator so high, the value of y will be so less. Similarly, once you are making x to be, let's say, minus 1 lakh, so minus 1 lakh square would be positive, but 1 upon a very big value, the graph value would be closer to 0. So it looks like this. Similarly, y is equal to root x. Since we are saying square root of x, it will take only positive values. So x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. X is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. X is equal to 4, y is equal to 3. So the graph would be something like this. Similarly, y is equal to cube root of x. Once I am saying cube root of x, the right hand side can look the same, as in when x is 1, y is 1. When x is 8, y is 2. When x is 64, y is 4, something like that. But when I'm saying x is minus 1, y is also minus 1. When I'm saying x is minus 8, y would be minus 2. Let's say here. That means the graph will look something like this. So 8 graphs, out of which, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe this. But you can always have values to find out how the graph will look. Is that clear to everyone? I'm not saying that you should remember the nature, but you should remember the values that I have taken. Take x very high, take x very small, okay? Make y huge, make y small, so that you understand the nature of the graph. But the 4 graphs, the first 4 graphs, you should remember the first 4 graphs. The later 4 graphs, you can just have a basic understanding. Equation of circle, also not that important, but let's say if there's a point 1, 2, and there's a circle having a radius of 3, how will I write the equation of circle? X minus 1 square plus y minus 2 square is equal to radius square. This is how I write the equation of circle. So let's say, Alia, if I ask you, find the equation of circle having its center at origin and radius as 4 root 2. How will you write the equation of that circle? Astha?
X square plus y square is equal to
X
4
minus 0 square plus y minus 0 square is equal to radius
square.
square. So x square plus y square is equal to
632.
32. All right. In order to make a unique circle, how many points do you need?
3.
3 points, as we have discussed. Okay. Okay, going through the questions. Sanjana, help us out. Which of the following is the graph of the equation y is equal to minus of mod of minus x? Okay. We only know the graph of y is equal to mod x. Okay. Go on.
So, Aman, I'm not sure of those.
Okay. Asta.
So we'll go by first mod x.
See, we do not know this graph, but let's say I know this graph. So whether you say mod x or whether you say mod of minus x, does it matter?
No, it's the same.
No.
You take the value. For example, x is equal to 1. So y will be
1.
when x is 1, y is 1. When x is 1, what will be y?
1.
When x is minus 1, y will be 1. When x is minus 1, again y will be 1. So whether you are saying y is equal to mod x or whether you are saying y is equal to mod x, it will not matter. So can I say this is nothing but y is equal to minus of mod x?
Yes.
If y is equal to mod x is this, minus of mod x will look like
Inverted.
inverted. Option C. And there's one more way. If you are not thinking with respect to graph, let's say take 3 points. X is equal to 0, y is equal. These are not coordinates, okay? This is the values. X0, y0. X1, so y will be?
-1.
This will be x is equal, so this is mod of -1, which is 1, and there is a minus sign, so -1. If I say x is equal to -1, so this will be +1 and minus of
-1.
Yes.
Talk about these 3 points. See, x0, y0, possible, 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 possible. Okay, not relevant. X1, y -1. When x is 1, y is -1. So this is relevant. When x is 1, y is -1. Not relevant. When x is 1, y is -1. Relevant. X is 1, y is -1. Not given. X is 1, y is -1. So 3 graphs relevant. Now check when x is -1, y is -1. When x is -1, y is -1, this is relevant. When x is -1, y is -1, not relevant. When x is -1, no value of graph, as in nothing is given, so 0. So not relevant. So option C. You can also check by taking some points or with respect to graphs.
Sorry, Aman, 1 second. Just could you go to the previous slide? So when you're taking the value of x as -1 in the mod, will it be minus of -1? And then when you open it, it becomes minus.
When I'm taking -1, so minus of -1 is +1.
Correct. But then if you take the value of x as only minus, if you take that value of x as 1,
so that is -1.
because -1, there'll be an additional minus outside, right? And then
So mod of -1 is 1. So essentially what is happening, mod is introducing a minus sign.
correct.
And you're getting 1.
And then but we already have that oh, that's okay. Understood. My bad. Sorry. I was right.
Go for the second one, Neil.
On the coordinate plane, each point lying on a circle has its x and y coordinates greater than or equal to 0.
That means every point that is lying on a circle is either in the first quadrant or on the axis.
Correct.
So is this graph correct? As in, is this circle graph correct?
No,
According to what
because
is
there are some points lying in the second quadrant.
okay, go on.
If the center of the circle lies at 3, 4.
So 1, 2, 3. X is equal to 3.
3
And
y is 4.
this is where the center lies. Okay.
What is the maximum possible area of the circle?
So how to find the maximum area? So see, this point is at a distance of 4 units. And this point is at a distance of 3 units. Let's say I want to make a circle of radius 4. if I'm making a circle of radius 4, will that be correct or will that be incorrect?
That will be incorrect because
Why?
it may cut into the second quadrant.
It not may, it will.
It will cut into the second quadrant.
As this distance is 3, and what is the radius? Radius is 4, right? So it will
Yeah.
go here till here. So
Correct.
so this, so can the maximum radius be 4?
No.
So what is the only possibility of the maximum radius?
3.
Will be 3. So the graph will look like this. So 3 units and this is 1 unit. Is this possible? So yeah, if there is one point here, for example, each point lying on a circle has its x and y coordinate greater than or equal to 0. So this suffices, correct?
Correct.
If this is what one? 0, 4. Okay, not a problem. So what is the area? Pi r square. So pi into radius, which is 3 square.
3 square, which is 9 pi, which is option C.
Option C. Not that difficult. Go for this as well.
In the rectangular coordinate system, points 4, 0, which is on the x-axis, and points -4, 0, which is on the y-axis. Sorry, x-axis, sorry. -4. Both lie on circle C.
Okay, so 2 points are given.
Correct.
What is the
maximum possible value of the radius of C?
Okay, just a second. Yesha, go for this one.
In the rectangular coordinate system,
Do not read the question. We need
Okay.
to find the maximum possible value of the radius. And we have only 2 points given that are lying in the circle.
so if they both are lying on the circle, then the circle's center would be 0, 0, because then it'll make it equidistant to the radius, and the radius is 4.
Okay, so what is the maximum possible radius? 4.
4.
But this is just a possibility, right? Can't the circle be like this? 2 points are there. Who told you that this is the diameter?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Can't the circle be like this as well? So we have just discussed. I think we have missed out on that. In order to have a unique circle, you need to have at least how many points?
3 points. Yeah.
But if you have only 2 points, will you be getting a unique circle?
No.
No. So how many values of radius are possible? Infinite. So what is the maximum possible value? Infinite. There's no finite maximum value. It could be anything. Option B. So this was a conceptual question also. Coming to the graphs, this is important. Palak, go for this question. Not Palak. Sean, go for this question.
Yes, okay. Figure below shows a parabola in the xy plane. Which
Okay.
of the following equations does the graph best represent?
Without having a look over the options, can you please tell me what are the roots? What is the value of A for this graph?
So it's 3.
A, Baba, A. What is A, first of all?
Positive.
No, I'm asking.
So positive.
No, but by the way, what is A? Which A am I talking about?
So the ax square plus c1.
The coefficient of x square. It is positive, and hence the graph is facing upwards. So A is positive. You can take a look at the values of A here. Whichever is negative, you can exclude.
So because it's also upward sloping and it intersects with the x-axis, then I think the only answer would be E.
I think no, there's nothing to think. First of all, go step by step, Sean. This is the first step. So you have eliminated 2 options. Okay. What else can you see? What are the roots of the equation? What are the roots of this quadratic? Okay, not clear. It's not clear to you, Sean. Astha, this is the root, right? So this has only one root, as in equal roots are there, correct?
Yes.
When d is equal to 0, there's equal roots. So can I say the two roots are 3 and 3?
Yes, sir.
So what is sum of the roots? See, you can solve this question in any way possible. See, a is greater than 0, d is equal to 0. So you can also go through and check where is b square minus 4ac 0 and also get to the answer. I am saying I can see that you have two equal roots, as in there is only one root, but while solving we'll get 3 and 3. So sum of the roots would be 3 plus 3, which is 6, and product of the roots would be 3 into 3, which is 9. Where is the sum of root 6? Is it 6 here? No. Is it 6 here? No. Here it's the 6. How is the sum of root 6? Sum of roots is minus of b by a. What is b? Minus 4. What is a? 2 by 3. So minus and minus plus, and this is 2 by 3. So 2 2 and 2 into 3 is 6. So sum of the roots is 6. Similarly, as you can see, product of the root would be 9. As you can see, product of the roots is c by a. 6 by, what is the value of a? 2 by 3. 18 by 2, which is 9. Is 9. In order to solve this, you can just say a is greater than 0. You can eliminate two options and d is equal to 0. You'll find out that only option C will match. This is just something extra that I have told.
So there is we can also put x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 0, which satisfies.
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
Right, okay.
Go via whichever method that you like. Yes. Yeah, Sean, you were saying something?
No, so I was sorry, I was a bit confused now.
Okay. Palak, help me out here.
Just show that the graph of y is equal to a minus x squared for some constant a. If the square ABCD intersects the graph at points A.
First of all, tell me, this graph will be symmetrical, right? This parabola will be symmetrical, right? So whatever the distance from here and here, the same distance will be from here and here. When I say y is equal to x square, isn't it symmetrical to y-axis?
Yes.
Symmetrical, okay.
And the roots will also be a and minus a. So points D and C.
Forget about that. If the square intersects the graph,
points A and B, and the area of the square is 16.
Acha, if the area is 16, area is equal to side square is equal to 16. Side is equal to 4. If this is 4, this is 4. Now you know that the y coordinate is 4. Right? Chalo, what about the x coordinate? I am saying if this is a symmetrical graph, okay, and if this is 4, can't I say that this is going to be 2 units and 2 units? So what will be the coordinate of this point?
2 0.
0.
So what will be the coordinate of this point?
2 4.
4.
Can I say 2 comma 4 will satisfy the equation of this parabola as it's a point. So put x is equal to 2 will give you 2 square, which is 4, and y is equal to 4 is equal to a minus 4. So A comes out to be 8. Not that difficult. Palak, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir. I was able to solve it, sir.
Okay. Okay. Sanjana, can you help? By the way, have you gone through the pre-work or not, Sanjana?
Aman, I didn't get time to go through the parabola pre-work actually. I did for the coordinate geometry.
Very good. Very good. Yasha? Yasha, go for this question.
So I had made the graph to solve it.
So, matlab, you should make the graph to solve. Okay, otherwise it will not get solved.
Yes. So as it's a modulus equation, and because there is the 1 comma 2, which is like the center of the modulus,
No,
it'll
no,
be
no,
2.
no, no. Just a sec. First of all, how will you make this? How will you make this graph? We have just learned y is equal to mod x will be this, right?
Yes.
How will you make y is equal to mod of x minus 1?
Minus 1 would be towards the right, one
So
unit.
when x is 1, y is 0.
Yes.
When x is 1, y is 0. That means the graph is shifted to the right.
Yes.
Now what do you have to do? Shift the graph upwards by
2
units. So y is equal to mod of x minus 1 plus 2 will look something like
Yes.
this. Can you please tell me the coordinates of this point? This was 1, comma 0. So when x is 1, what is the value of y? 1 minus 1 is 0 plus 2. Okay. So this is 1, comma 2. This is 1, comma 0.
Yes.
Now
On the
please,
y.
now please tell me what is the x coordinate of this?
So you'll put x is equal to 0, which would make it 3. Y is equal to 3.
So 0 minus 1 is minus 1. Mod of minus 1 is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. So what is this distance? 3.
The height is 3.
This is what?
2.
Now please tell me what is the so this was we were just talking about this graph. Question is saying what is the area enclosed by this graph? X is equal to 1. What is x is equal to 1? This line.
Yes.
What is x-axis? This line. What is y-axis? This line. So intersection of all of it. That means we need to find the area of this figure.
Yes.
And that is why, since let's say this might not be the case, wherein even the question stem can provide this information. The area of something is half into sum of parallel sides into height. So what are the parallel sides? This and this.
Equal to 1. I had actually done it by dividing the area as a triangle and a rectangle and done it separately.
Chalega, not a problem. So half of sum of parallel sides into what is the height?
1.
You could have also done it by distributing or dividing the figure into two parts. This will be a triangle, and this will be. Will this be a rectangle or a square? Rectangle. So area of triangle plus area of rectangle will give you the answer. Okay. Any doubts on this?
Sorry, Aman, could you just explain how you got the figure to begin with?
No. Tell me specifically where your doubt is. Neil.
No, 1 second. So if I'm taking, see, if I'm substituting the values of x in that equation, which is y equals to x minus 1 plus 2.
Correct. So if you want the minimum value, you need to have the minimum value here. And when will that minimum value come? When x is equal to 1. So when x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2.
1, comma 2. No, I was just saying, I didn't understand how you got this 1, comma 0 at the bottom. That's what I don't understand that.
So this is 1 comma 2. This is x is equal to 1, right?
Okay, understood. Got it. That's how you're writing it as 1. Okay, it's not related to the equation.
No, but I started from here, right? Y is equal to mod of x minus 1. So what is the minimum value? Where will the minimum value lie? When x
1.
is equal to 1 and y is equal to 0. So I started from here. So this became 1 comma 0.
No, I understood that. Okay, fair. Got it. Okay.
All right. I'll go for it. Jyotishman, go for this question.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
In the figure QRST, which is a square, if the shaded region is bounded by arcs of circles with the centers at Q, R, S, and T, then what is the area of the shaded region?
The area of the shaded region would be area of the square minus
one circle.
These 4 things. So sorry, I'm not making the structures properly. Can you find the area of square? If this is 0 comma, if this is 3 comma 0, then you know that this is 3. So this is also 3 as we are talking about the square. So side of the square is 6. What will be the area?
36.
Okay. What will be the area of, as in what will be the radius of this?
3.
3. Every quarter has a radius of 3. So can I say 4 times area of every quarter? So 4 times area of every quarter. Pi r square. If pi r square is the area of circle, what is the area of a quarter? 1/4. So 4 and 4 will get cancelled. Pi r square. What is the radius? 3. So the answer would be 36 minus 9 pi. I hope this question does not, or this question did not seem difficult to any of you.
Yes.
This was not difficult, okay? I would say this was
sir.
based on somewhere between an easy and medium level. I will say this is a good question. Okay, Shiva Prasad, help me out here.
The graph of f of x equal to x cube minus x.
Acha, so I can see there are 1, 2, or 3 different things I can see. Can you please tell me which is the graph of x cube minus x?
The curved one.
So,
The second one.
very good.
3 roots will be there.
So in order to find, let's say, this one root or the second root and
Second root and
third
third.
root,
Yes.
what will I do?
Can equate to 0.
Why
Y,
am I equating to 0?
y is 0 on the x-axis.
Very good. So right now I'll factorize x square minus 1 is 0.
Equal to 0.
So x into
Equal
x
to
minus 1 into
to
x
x
plus
plus
1 is equal to 0. So x is 0 or 1
minus
or minus.
minus 1.
So this at this point x is minus 1 comma 0.
Hmm.
And at this point itself, this line is passing.
Yes. This passes through that line.
So this line
Hmm.
passes through this point as well.
Yes.
So can
0
I say m into minus 1
minus
plus
1
n?
is unequal to 0.
And what will be the value of y coordinate of this line here at this point?
0.
So can I say m is equal to n?
Yes.
Okay, that's one thing. If m and n are constants, what is the value of m into n? Okay.
Yes.
So I have made one equation. How can I make the other equation? Let's say between m and n.
Passes through another point 2 comma a. Can imagine.
Okay, this line also
Passes through 2 comma some point.
2 comma something. As in this graph also passes through 2 comma something. And
Yes.
this line also passes through 2 comma something.
Yes.
I know this graph is passing, this curve is passing through 2 comma something. So can I put f of 2 is equal to as in 2 cube minus 2, which
Yes.
is
8
8
minus
minus
2.
2, 6.
6.
So I know that this graph once this curve passes, x coordinate is 2, y coordinate is 6.
6.
So this line also passes through this point.
Yes.
Dx is equal to mx plus n. So y value is
6.
6. M into x value is 2
2
plus n.
n.
I know that m is equal to n. So I'm
Yes.
saying 2n
3
plus n
is
equal to
3n.
6. So 3n is
Equal
6.
to
So n is equal to 2.
okay. M and 4.
So m is also 2. So what is the value of m into n?
4.
4. Okay, is this point clear? I'll say this question was good, not bad at all.
Yes.
Asta, were you able to do this question?
Yes, sir. I just kept on putting the values one by one.
Good. Who's gonna go for this one? Tanisha?
Yeah, man.
Go.
Which of the following could be the equation of graph in the xy plane above?
Okay. If I were to think with respect to A and D, tell me this by looking at the graph, what will
A
be
is greater than 0.
D?
D is also greater than 0.
Tell me the roots of this.
4 and minus 4.
First root is 4. The second root is
Minus 4.
minus
5.
Minus
madam, minus 5
5. Yeah,
4
sorry.
minus 6 minus 5. Okay. So what is the sum of the roots?
Minus 1.
Product of the roots?
Minus 20.
Product of the roots minus 20. Sum of the roots minus 1. So just by looking at it, please do not reject this option saying sum of the roots is 1. Sum of the roots is minus of b upon. Okay. So sum of the roots is minus 1 here. The answer to this question is option B. Not that difficult. Shashank, how did you go about this question?
So I didn't get it right. So actually, I hurried to the last question.
All
But
right.
now it's pretty clear. Like after I see you solve it, it's pretty clear.
Cool. The questions that we are about to discuss are not a part of coordinate geometry and graphs. I've just taken this question. Jyotishman, here we need
Yes, sir.
to calculate approximate value. So the question is saying, which of the following is closest to under root of 4.2?
Yes.
So 4.2, you can assume it to be?
So I did it as 42.
42. Arre Baba, you can just assume it to be 4. This is 1600 and 16. Closest approximate value, right? 4 4s are 16 under root of 400, which is 20. So I'll say this was easy. I've increased the level a bit in the second question. Which of the following is the closest approximation to this? Under root of 73, under root of... so what is under root of 73 approximately?
So under root of 64 plus 9, that comes to 8.
So under root of 64, see, under root of 64 is 8. Under root of 81 is 9. So under root of 73 would be somewhere between 8 and 9. So let's say 8.5.
Yes.
Similarly, under root of 239. I am saying under root of 225, 256, which is 15, 16. So this will be 15.5. Okay. So I am saying, and this will be approximately, let's say, 3. And under root of 15.7 is?
So root over 16 we can take 4.
4. So this is 8.5 into 15.5 divided by 7. So rather than worrying about 8.5 into 15.5, I am saying just take maximum values of it. And whatever answer that is coming, we will be absolutely sure the answer will be near to it, but definitely not greater than. And even, so sorry, I'll say just forget about what I said. If the question is saying closest approximation, then the values, as in whatever you are calculating and whatever you'll be getting, there are 99% chances that you'll be getting it right. Okay, so you don't have to worry too much about this decimals. Let's say this is 9 and 16 upon 7. So this is what? 144 by 7, which is 20 point something. Let's say even if you had taken 8 into 15, and I'm taking very minimum values, right? 8 and 15. So 120 by 7, which is, come on.
Sir, 17.
Okay, 120 by 7.
Which is 17 point something, which is still closer to 20 than 15.
Okay, okay. Minimum, maximum we can take. Yes.
In that case, that will be closer to 15, but I'm just saying that would be the restricting point, right?
Yeah,
As you know,
the lower
that
limit.
as you know that this is definitely 8.5 and 15.5, so you shouldn't be going at 8 into 15 first thing. But I'm just telling you. So this is how you can do the approximation. And I've taken 2 more questions related to addition of digits.
Yes,
Chalo.
I couldn't do so.
This you couldn't do.
Yes.
Sorry to bother you here. Can we go back to the parabola last question? I think the answer should be E. We just fast track to the approximation and so we didn't point it out. So point minus 60, there 0 and minus 60 won't satisfy option B. It will satisfy option E, right?
Which can you please explain?
So there on the parabola, there's a point 0, minus 60 in the figure given.
0,
This
comma,
minus 60.
minus 60. Okay.
This point won't satisfy option B. It will satisfy option E.
So let's check option E for also. Sum of the roots is minus 60 by 3. Sorry, product of the roots is minus 60 by 3, which is minus 20, and sum of the roots would be minus 3 upon 3, which is minus 2. Oh, all right. So sorry. Okay. So option B and E both satisfies. Cool.
Now we can just
Now,
put this point 0, minus.
just a sec. Rather than putting, we can also have one check. So this is a parabola that is facing downward. Sorry, that is facing upwards. What will what should I say?
The value of y is minus 60. Isn't that equivalent to the constant value, which
The
is
value of
y on the
so-
graph is minus 60.
So x is equal to 0. When x is equal to 0, let's put x is equal to 0, 0. All right. Yeah, very good. Who pointed this out? When x is equal to 0, y is equal to minus 20.
By option E.
When x is equal to 0, y is equal to minus 60. So sorry, option would be answer E. Let me just write that down in corrections. Minus option E. Answer is E. Very good. Yeah. Okay. I just saw this minus 20 and I didn't do this thing for this. Very good. Question number 3. Jyotishman, go through this.
Yes. In the below addition, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G represent the digits 1 to 6.
0 to 6.
0 to 6. If each variable has a different value and E is not equal to 0.
Acha ji, E is not equal to 0. What does that mean?
It's a 3-digit number.
It's a 3-digit number. So once you are adding two two-digit numbers, what is the maximum sum that you can get? Let's say 99 plus 99. Here, in this case, every digit has a different value, but I'm saying the maximum sum that you can get is 198. That means the 100 digits should be,
It should be 1.
that's 1 point. And the question is asking?
The value of G.
Okay, so if you are adding two numbers, so the result should be, let's say 120, 130. So let's say if I'm adding, example, I'm saying 4 into something and 5 into something, can I get 1 something something?
Yes, sir. Possible.
Possible. But let's say if I have 42 and 56, will that be possible?
No, sir.
That means this should give me a carryover. Otherwise,
Yes.
the result would be, if I'm saying 42, 56, the result would be 98, right?
Yes.
That means I need a carryover. So based on the digits that you have, let's say if you have consumed 4 and 5, can you get a carryover using the rest of the digits? Let's say you have used 4 and 5. You
No,
have
sir.
also used the 1.
No.
It should be 5 and 6, the 2 unit digits. Only then it will give a carry.
Just to say. So 4 and 5 will not give. This
Not.
this is not possible. Okay? So 40 something and 50 something is one possibility. I am saying 50 something, 60 something is one possibility. I'm also saying 40 something and 60 something is another possibility. Out of this, apart from this, there is no other possibility. And we have rejected this possibility. What's wrong with this possibility?
One will repeat here. So
It
yeah,
will be
but
one.
we only have a single one.
See, if we are taking 5 and 6 here, and the rest of the digits that we are left with is, let's say, 0 to 4, out of which 1 is already used. So 0, 2, 3, 4. So do we have any digits here of that sort which can give me a carryover? See, 6 plus 5, something plus something. Let's say this is 1, 1 into something. 1, 1, something. You take anything. Let's say 52. And you take 63. I'm just giving you an example. So again, the digits will repeat. Let's say 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 6 is 11, 1, 1. Can we use 2 ones? Can we use 2 5s?
No.
So this is again rejected. The only possibility that you are left with is 4 and 6. If we are having 4 and 6, and if we are having, let's say, a 1 here, what will come here? If you have used 4 and 6, you are left with, you have used 4, 6, 1. You are left with 0,
3, 5.
2, 3, 5. So will there be a carry forward?
No.
No. Okay. So 6 plus, as in 40s plus 60s is equal to 1, 0 something. So the only possibility, either this can be 42 plus 63 or 43 plus 62. And this will be 5. So what is the value of G?
5.
5. This is how you should go for these kind of questions. I think there's one more question that we have also taken. If the symbols triangle, diamond, diamond represents digit in the following subtraction operation, what is the value of diamond? Acha, who's going to explain the logic? Yasha. I'm subtracting two numbers and I'm getting 667. And this digit and these two digits need to be the same. Okay. So can you comment on the value of triangle, as in the digit triangle?
So
Yes,
how,
Yeah, just a sec. Yasha, let Yasha speak. Shiva.
so how I had tried to go about it was I represented like a triangle with x, and it was 100x plus 10y plus y.
Okay, you can go via that method.
But that didn't get me anywhere, so I didn't really get a solution.
Okay, all right. But I'm telling you to think a bit logically. See, these digits are same,
Yes.
and the result that you're getting is a 667. Can you comment on this digit? Let's say if this digit is a 6. So 600 something minus 66. Can the result be 667?
No.
Let's say I'm saying 699. Can the result be 667? Is that
No.
possible?
It won't. It's not possible.
Even if I'm taking, let's say, 633, anything.
No, I don't. It doesn't seem to be possible.
Okay,
You can take 7, the
I'm.
value.
Do you understand this logic or not?
Yes.
Can I take, let's say, 899 minus 88?
811.
As in the result won't be 600 something, right?
Yes.
So 6 and 8 you can't take. So the only possibility that you are left with is 700 minus, let's say 740 minus 80. I'm just giving you an example. If I'm taking this as 7 something something minus 77, the result could be 600 something.
Yeah, it's possible, but 7 is not an option.
No, we haven't solved
Sorry,
it.
the triangle. Yeah, okay. Yes.
And the result is 667. So let's say if I'm saying 4 minus 3 is 1. So can I say if I add these two numbers, I can get a 4?
Yes.
So can I say if I add these two numbers, I'll get the result?
4.
So
14.
667 plus 77, 7 plus 7, 14, 13 plus 1, 14.
7.
This is 744. So the result, as in the value of this time, would be a 4. Okay, this ends our session. Let me just pause, stop the recording.